Now, it's not just the fireworks lighting up our skies, as we saw over New Year. Over the next 3 days, we'll be treated to a meteor shower and a rare partial solar eclipse, neither of which we'll see without some help from the weather. So I suppose, Wendy, the question is, will we have it?
Well, yes, that is a good question, isn't it? Of course, you need to get out the glare of the city lights to see it at its best. But I think even in rural spots overnight tonight, a meteor shower might be difficult to spot because there's going to be a lot of cloud around. As for the partial solar eclipse, well, more chance of the cloud breaking first thing tomorrow morning. But elsewhere in the country, we might fare a little bit better, and we hope so, because Stargazing Live is the programme that's going to be covering this. Professor Brian Cox and Dara O'Brien presenting that, and you'll see the best of those sparkles in the sky as a result, hopefully at least. Now, as we go through the rest of today, we've seen some sunshine. It's a cold start to the week, milder and wetter towards the end of the week. There has been some snow falling in some parts of the London area south of the M25 throughout today. So we expect to see, especially over the higher ground, we might just get 1 or 2 sprinkles of snow as we go through the day today that could settle just for a time. So we're watching that situation carefully as we go through the rest of the day. Generally, I think we'll see more cloud, and that's what's going to be with us tonight, so not a very good view of the sky, unfortunately. Even underneath the cloud, it is just about cold enough at the moment for a touch of frost, so if you have seen any snow falling today, watch out for a bit of ice into tomorrow morning. So hopefully we'll get a glimpse of that partial solar eclipse, carefully of course, through the cloud, because it will start to break up a little bit on and off throughout the day tomorrow, and again, temperatures, well, hovering around 3 or 4 degrees. Looking further ahead, well, we've got some sunshine to start the week and it stays colder, but towards the end of the week it will be milder, yes, but also it's going to be a little bit on the wet side.
Oh dear, Wendy, thanks very much indeed. Well,
now, over the next few days, we'll be treated to a meteor shower and a rare partial solar eclipse. Well, let's find out what we've got in store for us and, of course, get the weather forecast with Wendy. Wendy, is it going to be spectacular then?
It would be if we could see it. That's the problem, isn't it? Of course, you need to get out of London to see it because of the glare of the lights. But I think we're going to be plagued by an awful lot of clouds, so spotting meteors tonight might be quite difficult. However, there are other parts of the country that may fare a little better, perhaps. And so if you're interested, this is the show to watch. Stargazing Live. It's presented by Professor Brian Cox and Dara O'Brien, and it's on in about an hour and a half's time. As for the partial solar eclipse tomorrow, a little bit more chance of seeing that, perhaps, if the cloud breaks for any length of time. So on with the weather. It's been a cold day today, hasn't it? A cold start to the week, but it will become milder and also wetter as we go through later on this week. We've also seen 1 or 2 flakes of snow in a few places. That continues to be the case throughout the evening and overnight in just a few places. And over the higher ground, perhaps the Chilterns, the Downs, we might see a little bit just settling on the grass for a time, but I don't think it will be much of a problem elsewhere, although it is cold enough for a touch of frost overnight tonight, even underneath this cloud. So watch out for a bit of ice in untreated surfaces into tomorrow morning. So we start tomorrow with a fair amount of cloud. Hopefully it will break at times to give us a glimpse of the sunshine, to watch it carefully, of course, for that partial solar eclipse. As we go through the day, a few sparkles of sunshine, a dry day, and a temperature of around 4 degrees Celsius. It's a similar sort of day on Wednesday as well. There will be a fair amount of cloud, but it remains dry. There will be some sunshine breaking through, and temperatures up a notch on what we have started with at around 6 degrees Celsius. As we go through the week, it will turn a little bit milder, perhaps up as high as 9 or 10 degrees as we go through to Friday, but with that, some wet weather as well. We'll keep an eye on it.
Thanks very much, Wendy. Right, well, let's get a full weather forecast now with Wendy Hurrell.
Good evening. Much more cloud around as we've gone through this afternoon, and 1 or 2 flakes of snow in a few places too. So a cold start to this week, but milder, wetter weather on the way later on. Now, overnight tonight, we may continue to see 1 or 2 wintry flurries. It could settle for a time on the grass over the higher ground, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. Underneath the cloud, it's still just about cold enough for a touch of frost, though, as temperatures will fall to freezing, and watch out for a bit of ice on untreated surfaces as a result. If you're hoping to see the meteor shower overnight tonight, though, I think you might be a bit unlucky in this part of the world, at least. Other parts of the country might fare a bit better. This is the show to watch if you're interested. Stargazing Live. It will also feature the partial solar eclipse that's going to happen tomorrow morning, which we might have a bit more chance of seeing because there will be some breaks in the cloud, and that continues to be the case as we go through the afternoon, although there is still going to be a fair amount of cloud up there with a temperature of around 4 degrees Celsius. A similar sort of day on Wednesday, but towards the latter part of the week, well, that's when we're expecting some rain, but hopefully milder temperatures too.